Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. I am here to tell you about the leadership roles available for Toastmasters in a new club such as the one you are starting next month. And there are various offices available for you to occupy. And by the end of my presentation, you'll understand which offices are available, what their duties and responsibilities are, and where you fit into the new scheme of things. For Toastmasters clubs to run efficiently, there must be a system and a structure in place to ensure that everybody adequately participates in the running of the club. And there are various aspects to running a club meeting, 50% of which happen behind the scenes in the sense that they do not happen during the meeting, and the other 50% happen during the meeting as we saw today, which is in terms of the roles being taken up by various members. Toastmasters clubs have officers, and an officer is responsible for a particular function of the club, and I will write them down so that we understand which various offices exist and where you fit into this. Alright? Now, a Toastmasters club will have typically 7 officers. At the top is the president. The president is in charge of all activities and everything that concerns that particular club. The buck stops with the president. He or she presides over the club meetings and allocates duties and responsibilities as necessary. The second officer is the vice president in charge of education. That is the individual who takes charge of the education affairs of every club member. Meaning that when you come in as a club member, you are expected to follow a leadership and communicator path towards success. Everything that is done in a Toastmasters meeting is evaluated, and when you're evaluated, you move along a path in terms of building your leadership and your communication skills. And the Vice President of Education is one who makes sure that that path is followed diligently. Then we have the Vice President in charge of public relations. This is the person who is in charge of how the club relates with the general public and with the individuals who surround the club, either within the institution or outside the institution. We then have the Vice President of Membership, who is in charge of building membership within the club and ensuring that everybody remains in good standing with Toastmasters International. We then have the Secretary, who takes minutes during the meetings and keeps us posted in terms of the deliverables that we're supposed to have at every term. There is something that we're supposed to deliver from every particular meeting. Then we have the Treasurer. Toastmasters costs. It is not free. And if we are to proceed on the track of leadership development, there will be fee to be paid. The Treasurer keeps us on track with the program. The final officer is the Sergeant at Arms. The Sergeant at Arms is the custodian of all the club's materials, and he's the one in charge, he or she is the one in charge of setting up the room and making sure that everything is in place for the particular meetings as they take place. I would like you to have a look at this and do a little bit of further research on the internet, understand where you fit in, and we do not monopolize these positions. We rotate them so that every club member gets an opportunity to serve within the club and build the leadership and communication skills. I would now like to hear any questions. I invite any questions from the floor. Oh.
Why do you have to pay to be a Toastmaster?
When you become a Toastmaster, when you join the leadership track, there are manuals that you get. There are awards that are given. There are events that need to be organized in terms of your training and in terms of your upkeep as a member. It is necessary for these to be supported financially, and that is why it costs to be a Toastmaster. Question?
Is there a particular place where you start your rise to leadership?
Not necessarily. Any member who is a accredited by Toastmasters International can take up any one of these posts. As a club, I would recommend that people graduate towards this particular post, but any member who is qualified in terms of being registered with Toastmasters International can join at any stage. 2 minutes for questions. Yes.
How is the president selected?
Toastmasters clubs conduct elections where there must be a quorum, and the elections are called, and there's what is called a selection committee that comes and calls members who want to volunteer for these positions, makes sure that everybody is willing to assume the post. It is not assumed that anyone who is elected will occupy the position. They are asked, and if they accept, they're put on the ballot, and the members vote by secret ballot. You had a question, Alligator?
Yes. How long does the president serve?
Toastmasters terms are a year. However, there are times when you can change an officer after 6 months. So normally, if you serve for 6 months and then hand over to someone else, it is still quantified as having served in office, and you get credit for it in terms of being on the leadership track. Yes, sir.
There's many bodies that are trying to help in developing communication and leadership skills. What does a Toastmasters club do that is different in maybe trying to develop these communication and leadership skills?
Toastmasters builds leadership and communication skills by doing, not talking about them. Toastmasters does not train you. Toastmasters allows you to participate in a meeting either as a speaker or as a role taker or as a club officer. Then you learn about leadership, then you apply it, and then it becomes a part of you. My time is up. Thank you very much. If you have any further questions, I'd be delighted to answer them after the meeting. Madam Toastmaster.